Look at that.
Insane. Oh. Oh wow.
That is beautiful. That is sublime.
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 Oh. That rub is amazing. It's so tender.
Yeah. Alright, let's go. Start tucking in, guys.
Yeah, I will. Oh wow.
Oh my god. Beef! Beef!
Beef!
Holy shit.
It's amazing.
Oh, I'm gonna keep cutting some more.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've injected beer into this one.
Really? What
Yeah.
kind? What have you put in it?
Punk IPA.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Not Foster's.
No, a bit of Punk IPA.
This is amazing. You happy?
I'm happy with that one. Very happy with it, actually.
The chef's happy?
The smoke
winner.
rings turned out amazing in it as well.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a foodie silence going on. He's happy.
Oh man. This rub is insane. I like the top bits, it's so good.
Yeah, it's the Angus and Oink Black Gold, it's called.
Okay.
Then, yeah, it's just, it comes out so well. Right, lads. You've tasted my meat.
I have.
What would you rate it?
100% 10 out of 10. What
That I would
10 and a
take.
half.
10 and a half?
10 and a half.
I'll take that. So,
Yeah,
would
10
you recommend a Bendy's Beast Feast?
100%.
Welcome along to another Meet with Me. This time we're with Harry from Hammerdown Festival. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great, man. I'm full up. That's what I am. So good.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
enjoyed that?
Love that, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great.
Not a problem at all. Hammerdown Festival then.
Yeah,
July 27th and 28th at the Concorde Tomb, Brighton.
it's not bad, is it?
Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the biggest year we've ever done. Like last year was probably the best setup we ever did. It was actually a smaller capacity than the year before, but it felt like a proper festival. I mean, like it really felt like a proper festival. We had all the food trucks, we had benches outside, lovely weather, big sort of courtyard, a merch village, right, in this like big container thing all raised up. And it felt like a proper festival for the first time, and because we really nailed it, we were like, right, we need somewhere bigger now, we need to upgrade it, and that's why we decided to move it to Concorde. There's no other, it's a shame there's no sort of bigger venues in Worthing.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't really anywhere we could take it, because I'd love to keep it there, but we can't. You're confined. It's not a big city, you know. So
Yeah.
that's why we decided to step it up, take the Concorde, which is a mad decision, really. So
It is. It's ballsy.
Yeah,
But
man.
fair play to you.
we'll see if it goes horrendously wrong.
It won't. It won't. So let's have a look at your backstory a little bit. Obviously, you've just recently released your promo video, which kind of goes into that a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Started in 2014. Talk us through that process up to now.
Yeah, I'd been going to loads of gigs at a place called the Harlequin Theatre in Red Hill, and that place was amazing. I loved that place, it was brilliant. I used to go and see my friends' bands there, like the bands in the scene at the time were Mordecai, who were amazing, Sondura, they were so good, and my first ever gig was going to see my friend's band Strike the Heart, and we went to this place and some of these other bands were playing, and it was so good, and I was looking at the big festivals. I'd never been to Download or anything like that at the time.
Yeah.
And I thought, I just want to run a festival like that. It just looks so cool. And I set this kind of mission to one day, however long it takes, to have like a Download of the South. That's been my goal since day one. That's what I've always said. And the first one, we approached the Harlequin Theatre, and that was the plan, to put it there, because it's an awesome. Have you ever been there?
No, not been there.
No, it's an amazing place. It's so cool. The stage is massive. They've got the proper seating racks that can come out from the wall or be pushed in for like a gig setting. Very professional place. The bar prices were good. And when we were doing our walk, I was 17 at the time when I first decided to do this, right?
Right, okay.
And I was walking around the venue on a tour with this lady, and I'd gone all smart, and I was with my girlfriend at the time and my best mate Sam, and we were like walking around and we were like, this is great, this looks like the right place to do it, whatever. And then we get into the office and we're going to sign the contract. She says, by the way, because Red Hill is a terrible, she didn't say it, but because Red Hill is a terrible place, the kids keep trashing the place, and so the council have changed the rules. It was a council run venue.
Right, okay.
So no under 18s were going to be permitted. And I was under 18.
Yeah.
So let's be real, first year it was all just going to be my college mates and stuff. It wasn't going to be like a real sort of serious big event.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't do it. So we had to just drop it, which was so gutted. I was gutted at the time. I remember being sat at the train station after, like, and the other two were trying to cheer me up, and like, So yeah, so that was how it started. And then we confirmed a place. Me and this guy called Bradley, who I was really, really good friends with.
Yeah.
We'd been doing all these gigs and going to all these parties at this random social club in a little village called Dane Hill, which is in the middle of nowhere, like right up in the middle of Sussex, just like all forests and that.
Yeah.
Nothing anywhere near it. And there was this village hall opposite, and the social club were involved with it and stuff. And Bradley was like, you should bring your festival that you keep talking about, put it here. I was like, sounds like a great idea. No market research, no nothing, middle of nowhere, terrible idea. We sold 12 tickets that first year.
It's still 12 tickets though, isn't it? You managed to sell some.
We managed to sell some. Yeah. I think it was about 12. It was, and that's how it all began, really. Yeah, that was the start of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, to have that vision and the commitment to go, this is what I want to do. How do I make it happen? Yeah. To me, it's an incredible story of achieving your dreams and reaching. And at the end of the day, you're only part way through the journey.
Oh yeah.
So you've still got so much further that you want to get to. I can tell that already, just by the short time we've been talking. I mean, obviously, part way through it, COVID hit.
Yeah.
How did that have? It was a massive effect for everyone. How did it personally affect you and sort of what you were trying to do?
I'll tell you what, I am really lucky. So 16 and 17, I spent so much money. I'd gone proper broke. I was in loads of debt and stuff. And 2018, we did like a really tiny event. We were like, we can't afford to put this on again. And I didn't want to call it quits. I wanted to keep going. And I put just this post out on Facebook and said, look, I'm thinking of doing a free entry event where I don't make any money, just to keep the brand alive whilst I save up to do it again in 2019 and whatever. It means I can't pay any bands, I can't pay anyone, but it's going to be free entry, so I'm not making any money. If people want to be involved, great. And the community all got around it, and we put it on in Bar 42 in Worthing, this tiny little venue, just to keep the brand alive. And then I still hadn't got myself out of the hole that I was in financially, so we took 2019 off with the intention of coming back in 2020. And we blacked out all the socials in January 2020. Then we posted a new logo for Hammerdown 2020, and then COVID hit in March. So thankfully, we hadn't got up and running, I hadn't spent any money, so actually COVID hadn't affected me at all. I'd moved in 2019 to Southampton, to where we are now. I literally live around the corner from this very place, actually. And so to work in sales and learn about business and learn about entrepreneurship and learn how to market things, that was the whole purpose. Like, I moved my whole life here to do that, so that I could take it back to Hammerdown. That was the whole goal. And I put a lot of work in here. I got promoted to like a management position. It was all going really, really well. well.
Yeah.
And the problem was, you know, well, it wasn't even, I don't think it was that bad really, because when COVID happened, it wasn't really up and running. I didn't have to cancel a festival, I didn't have to let any bands down, any staff down, I hadn't lost loads of money because I'd already taken the year off before. So actually it was good timing and it was okay. And if I'm being really honest, although I'd started to do prep for 2020, I didn't have the money. Like I was so desperate to resurrect this thing, but I couldn't afford it anyway really. So it was probably for the better that I gave myself the extra 2 years. You know, it ended up being 3 years off. 19, 20 and 21 we didn't do anything. So it was really a rebirth. We might as well have started from scratch with a different name. It wouldn't have made any difference. Like I just love the name, so we'd kept it. But like it wouldn't have made a difference if we'd done a different name, because
it was new.
Yeah, man, it was so dead. Like for years. So that's the COVID thing. Yeah.
Fair enough. So that brings us up to where we are now. I mean, you've got a lot coming up. You've got the warm-up shows, all in showcase. You know, talk us through what you've got coming up, because there's so much at the moment. Yeah,
it's a bit. It's gone mad. It's so busy now. So what have we got coming up? So we've got the Hammerdown warm-up show, which is on June 29th, which is my birthday. So you've got to come for that. So that's going to be really good. That'll be a nice celebration. Like my birthday hasn't aligned with anything we've done yet, so that'll be fun. You know, that'll be cool. Yeah. Then we've got the main festival, which is on July 27th and 28th. Then after that, before that, we've got on the 7th of July, we've got a conference. Yep. So that's a new concept that we came up with. I wanted to, because we manage bands now, so we've got a label now. We manage 15 bands all across the UK and Ireland as well. Yep. And we decided we wanted to do a conference to better everybody else. Right. So it's free for all of our bands. Other people can still buy tickets to it. There's some early bird tickets on sale now. And we've got like a load of different industry experts, like festival directors, people who in bands that have, in quotations, made it. Yeah. We've got a social media expert. We've got an artist who does all like graphics for bands and stuff. We've got an accountant coming to talk about how bands can manage their money and what different things you can claim for. Awesome. How to look after your expenses and all this kind of stuff. So the whole thing is, we're a new management company. I'm not as good as the big boys in the scene. Yeah. So I thought, let's try and do all these different things that will benefit the bands, so that we've got an edge. Yeah. Because as a new company, you need an edge. So then we also set up the Hammerdown Showcase Festival, which is a 2-day networking festival on the 21st and 22nd of September. Yep. So all of our bands on the label will have like a half-hour set. We've given out like 100 free tickets to industry experts. So there's radio presenters, and there's people who do podcasts, and there's people who are videographers, band photographers, like producers. One of the guys from Oosh Tours is coming down, so like van hire people, like everybody is going to be in that room. Yeah. And then we're selling to make back all of the costs. We're selling the other 150 tickets just as a normal festival, and it's like a networking thing. So all of our bands can chat to all these industry people, and everybody can network and grow a thing together. Like that's the whole.
It's a banging idea. Yeah, it really is. I think a lot of people go into this industry without any knowledge or support there really, and it can be cutthroat at times. It can be a difficult industry, like you say, with managing your finances, labels. A lot of bands these days are self-managing as well. They are. So it's kind of a way of being able to give them that knowledge to start off their journey, which I take my hat off to you for. I really do.
Do you know what it is? Like I say this all the time about the music industry, and this is why I moved away and like learned the crafts and all that stuff. Because, in my opinion, and this would seem like a good thing, but I don't think it is. The music scene is run by far too many fans. Yeah. And that's what I was doing. That's what Hammerdown was pre-COVID, which is why it was such a disaster. Right? Like it was terrible. Like, it was so bad. Like it really was. And you'd think that's a good thing because the passion's there. Yeah. But the problem with so many promoters, so many bands, so many small festivals, they're run by fans, so they've got no idea about business. I didn't. That's why I fell on my backside so many times, and why when I moved away to Southampton, I was in 13 grand of debt. Yeah. 9 of that was accumulated by the first 3 festivals. Like I was in such a hole. So I went and learned business, learned about finance, learned about taxes, learned about how to manage money, learned about how to make money, how to market things. Yeah. And now, because I did 3 years in Southampton. I I did a year and a half in Cardiff, all in the pursuit of all this sales stuff. Didn't go to a gig for about 5 years. Like I sacrificed everything. I couldn't afford it at the time either. I was doing commission only sales. I put everything to one side and went, I've got to focus on getting things right, because then I can put everything in and it'll be great again. And now, like, life's great. Like, it's cool. So
it's good. Like I say, you've come out the other side, and from everything that I've seen you do, you're looking happy, you're looking positive.
Try to be,
Which is amazing. That's what all of us want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You touched briefly on it. You've got your Hammerdown All in Management as well, and you've got all your bands. Is it Weller that have just got onto the Kerrang thing?
Well, they had Track of the Week with Alex Holcomb, which is pretty cool. Weller have done so well. They were the first band to sign with us. In fact, I owe the whole thing to Charlie, who's the vocalist of Weller, because he'd been nagging at me for a couple of months, like, oh, you know, we want you to manage us because you've got the contacts and stuff. But I was like, I haven't got time. I was living in Cardiff. I was doing commission only sales, 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. every day, as well as running the festival. And I have a son who lives in Southampton, so the commute was a long way. So it was so busy. I kept putting it off, and then we did Hammerdown Festival in 23, and it went so well. And I did my 7-hour coach back to Cardiff. Right, got back at 3 a.m. I had to be up at 5 for my sales job on Monday morning. Right, Tuesday morning I had the extra day, so Tuesday morning, and I got there and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, things are going well now. I can leave this. And I called Charlie and was like, let's do it. Let's go. So we set up a company. Like, and within 3 days of quitting, I'd moved back down here. I was living in Brighton. I'd set up the management company, incorporated that. Me and my mate Matt, we set the whole thing up and took Weller on, and then bands just started popping up at us. We've never approached a band. We've never said, do you want management? We want everybody to come to us. We've never approached a band. Everybody's come to us. We've got 15 on the books now. Like, it's just growing, natural. Man. Yeah, absolutely. It's good.
So, thinking back, you're talking about previous years. From the ones from all of it actually up to now, is there any band in particular from your festivals that is a standout for you that you go, do you know what, I remember that so vividly? No pressure.
So Adam from In Search of Sun is in the room, so In Search of Sun. And aside from them, oh mate, I got asked this recently. I really struggle to even put together a top 10. Like, my rule is I only book bands I like, which is why the lineup's always really eclectic. Like, we've had like indie stuff where it's an acoustic guitar, a bass, a keyboard, and a drummer. Like, we've had that, and then we've got, like, this year we've got 10 Plagues, who are like an extreme metal band. Like, they're intense, man. So I have to like them. So that already makes this a difficult question. But,
if not, it's
no.
cool.
I'll give a couple. I think Esoterica in 2022 was really special. That was really special. That was an amazing thing. That they were the first people, and wrongly so, because they're lovely, but they were the first people I was really intimidated by.
Right.
Because I was like, I booked a big band, right? And Toby, who's the singer, he's so confident, and he comes across. And I mistook that initially for arrogance, and I was really like nervous about interviewing them. And I got in the room, and they were so lovely and so relaxed, and I went, because I've been interviewing bands all day, and I was nervous because they were headlining, right? I was so nervous to interview them. But anyway, the performance was amazing. They were so good. And then I'd probably say my good friends in Mordecai, because they're the band that started everything for me.
That's cool.
I've got a Mordecai tattoo. Like, I love that band, and they were so good, man. And they did their last ever show, their send-off show, before they called it quits, as main supports to Esoterica at Hammerdown 2022. And that was probably the most emotional and most important set to me. That was amazing. That was wonderful.
It's good that you got those memories though.
Oh, mate, yeah.
That kind of leads on to, do you actually get time to enjoy the festival when it's happening? Because obviously you've got so much going on and you're overseeing so much. Do you actually get time during the festival to go and enjoy yourself?
Yeah, and I work 363 days a year on this thing, right? It's my all day, every day. I don't stop thinking about it. I don't stop the content. I don't like it's every day.
Yeah.
So for 2 days a year, I hire a big crew and I just get messed up. And I'm right at the front on the railings for every single of the 20 bands, every
That's
time,
awesome.
for every single one. And that will always be the case. Like it doesn't matter how big it gets. At the front for every band, in the pits, in my suit, like going mad.
Music first.
Yeah, man, like for real. Like I've ripped some trousers and all sorts. Don't. But like I love it. I just, yeah, for real. So I'm really lucky. Like Pete, our production manager, I mean he's as good as it comes. Like we did a call with our secret set that we're about to announce, like a production call. So it's quite a special set the other week. And Pete, from working with them previously, was just reeling off stuff by memory. Like your drummer likes to do this, and am I right in saying you've got this and this and this? And he's just a genius. And the bands who we were on the call with were like, I don't know how you remember this stuff. This is crazy. He worked with them years ago and just has this knowledge. So on the lead up, he does all of the techie stuff, gets everything right for me.
Yeah.
And then at the festival, he just runs the show, man. And like because I think it's important for me to be out there anyway. Like I need to meet people and network, and I need to be the face of it. So like I need to be out there anyway. So I'm just very, very lucky. And Sam as well, who does all of our artist liaison. He's like one of my best mates.
Yeah.
So Sam and his partner Molly, they just run the whole thing. They do all of the backstage looking after the artists and all that. And all I do is I watch a band, in the break interview the band, come straight back to watch a band, interview a band, and it's 12 hours of work, but it's the best, and I enjoy all of it because I get to interview and ask questions I actually want to ask to people I actually listen to their music, and then go and watch them. It's sick. It's great.
Best job in the world.
Best job in the world, man. Like, those
awesome.
2 days are just insane.
That is amazing. So you quit your job as well. You quit. It's a big ballsy step.
Right.
It's a big ballsy step.
Yeah.
But I take my hat off to you because I know that I commented when you were asking for advice on it, going, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And there's a lot of people going, no, it's not secure. Don't. But sometimes you just got to go bollocks to it and just throw yourself in there. So.
Yeah, well, I actually took a lot of that advice and I went, okay, I will stick it out. And then what actually happens, this is a little bit different. So I was working for an accounting company called Crunch, and they're brilliant. And that's who's going to come and do a talk at the conference.
Okay.
So I had asked to go part-time and drop a day a week. And we arranged this HR meeting. I sat with HR and I was saying to them, I'm at max capacity. My problem now is I can't quit because the money coming in from the music stuff is nowhere near enough, but I can't possibly take on any more. At the time we were managing 12 bands, I had a festival, I have a son, and I was working a 9 to 5:30 job as well. Like it was too much. Like I couldn't increase it anymore, which means I could never leave my job, which means I was really just killing myself for nothing, because it was till midnight every night and from 7 a.m. every day. Like I was doing a couple of hours before work, working on my lunch break the whole hour, and then working all night as well. But it couldn't progress, couldn't get anywhere. And I explained that, and they, HR had a chat, and I come back in the room, and they're like, we think you need to go. Like we're not going to sack you or anything, but we support small businesses. That's what we do. We're an accounting company. We're not supporting you right now. We're not supporting you. Like you need to. Maybe this is the push you need. Maybe you need to go and just focus on it. And me and the CEO, like he's just such a nice dude. We got on a Zoom call and had a chat and stuff. And he sent me this lovely email, basically being like, I'm by your side every step of the way. They're sponsoring the conference. Like they're just such good people. Like they really looked after me. But they were like, push me out the door, and we're like, go, do it. And for 10 years working in the music industry, at the end of April, so in 3 weeks' time, I will pay myself for the first ever time in the music industry, because I've never taken a penny ever.
That's going to be a great feeling.
It's going to be a great feeling, man.
It's going to be.
It's not a lot, Like I've cut my salary in half, but I will take money home from music, and that's like it's the coolest feeling ever. It's really cool.
That is what it's about.
Yeah.
That is what it's about. Okay, you touched on it briefly. Your secret set, it's been announced on the 20th.
Yes, it is.
Can I have a guess as to who I think it might be?
Yeah, you can guess,
Yeah? I'm going to guess, because I haven't heard too much from them this year, and you might not have heard of them, you might do. I know you won't give it away even if you do. A band called Florence Black.
I have heard of Florence Black. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's probably a good shout because, and I obviously won't confirm nor deny, but my good friends Andy and Jill, they put me up every year for Hammerdown. Like they let me stay with them, which is just lovely. And Andy bangs on about Florence Black all the time. It's like book them. So who knows?
If they're not, it's one that you should look for.
Yeah, mate. If it's not 24, they're on the cards, man, because they're a great band.
Well, we don't know for sure, but might well be. Keep a look out on the 20.
Keep an eye on the socials. You know?
So, finally from me, 20 bands playing. I've got a list here. It's quite insane.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all. You've got In Me, Our Hollow, Our Home, Sworn of Monks, Ethan Akira, Weller, South of Salem.
Yeah, man.
Mirage. It's yeah. Where do you start with getting these bands?
First thing is what I go back to. I have to like them. That's the most important thing. So I have to like the music.
Yeah.
And then really like loads of like bands apply and stuff. And we've got an online competition, and of course like I go through all the submissions, and that's the whole thing. That's my favourite part of booking the lineup. But if I'm totally real, like most of the lineup is booked like a week after the festival.
Yeah.
Like it's done, and that's all from me approaching people as opposed to the people that submit. Like the people that submit, they have a chance, and we have the competition, and that's my favourite thing. So discover all these new bands.
Yeah.
Like Idle Discourse are bands from Ireland who played the same day as In Search of Sun in 23.
Yeah.
They won our online competition. Never heard of them. They're a band from Ireland. I didn't know them at all. Coolest bands. They were so good. So I've rebooked them again for this year.
Amazing.
So a lot of it is people I've worked with before that I want to see again.
Yeah.
Like so Idle Discourse have played before. Who else this year have played before? Weller have played before. I mean, I managed them, so that's an obvious one. But who else? I mean, there's a few bands this year that have played before. I think it's 6 bands or something that have played before. And like I always try and I like to, you know, I like to keep relationships really important to me.
Definitely.
But then like I just like whoever I want to book, man. Like I like so when I could afford to go to Download, every time I went to Download, I'd see bands. I go, I'm going to book them.
Yeah.
And that was the ambition. And In Search of Sun were one of those bands.
Yeah.
I saw them at Download 16. I'm booking them. We chatted over Facebook a couple of times. Dates didn't align. Then they went silent for a long time, and obviously now they're back. And I was like, right. And there were so many bands like that. The band that first headlined our first ever festival in 2015 were a band called Empire, not Empire with a Y, Empire with an I as an exclamation mark.
Okay.
That Joe Green has the greatest voice I've ever heard, like ever. I'll show you his stuff. He has the most beautiful voice. And like I saw them at Download and went, yes. So a lot of it's like if I see bands, I mean Dralion, who I've got a great relationship with now, you know them, they're Bournemouth guys.
Yep.
I saw them in this pub and at the Hobbit, and I was probably just a bit of sort of rose-tinted spectacles. It was the first gig I saw post-pandemic, tail end of 2021, and they are really good, but part of it was just like, metal, this is sick, I'll book you, right? So I booked them.
Oh, that was close.
So a lot of it's like that, you know, like I see a band and I'm like, oh yeah, sick, I want to book them. So and quite a lot of it, because this has happened about 4 times in the last 2 years, I get too drunk and I'm like, I'll give you a slot on my festival, yeah. And then they get it on video and they send it to me the next day, and I'm a man of my words, but I'm like, oh, right, okay, yeah, cool, right. This has happened so many times. Yeah, that's part
awesome.
of it.
Well, to wrap things up, July the 27th and the 28th at the Concorde 2 in Brighton. Great venue. A lot of really famous bands have played there.
Yeah, man.
Really famous bands.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good. It is going to be good. We're going to have a bit of a competition coming up, but we'll do another video about that another time. So all that's left to me to do is say thank you very much.
Dude, mate, pleasure. Thank you so much for the food.
Been awesome.
Unreal, man.
Enjoyed the food. I think Harry is proof that if you dream big, you can achieve it. So no matter what you're trying to do, just go for it. And round of applause. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
I decided to start an alternative festival 10 years ago. 2014 was pulled from under us before we'd even booked a band. 2015 sold 12 tickets in a tiny village hall in the middle of nowhere. 16 and 17 nearly broke me, and by 2018 I'd lost so much that we'd scaled it right down to a tiny event. Then COVID happened. 2022 was an amazing comeback. Then in 2023 we broke even. So for 2024 we decided to scale it up, double the capacity and move it to Brighton. Concorde 2, Hammerdown Festival 2024. 2 days, 20 bands from all over the UK and Ireland, hundreds of fans, and headlined by Inmi and Ahono. Designated merch spaces, a fully stocked bar, festival food for everyone. Now this venue isn't just famous in Brighton, or even in England, but all over the world, and has seen bands like Foo Fighters, Machine Head, Trivium, and local legends like Architects and Royal Blood. Hammerdown Festival 2024 at Concorde 2. See you in July.